Hello! Can you hear that annoying buzzing noise? I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the... that's my hard drive again. I think I've mentioned that about 1,000,000 times. This is... excuse me. This is... Pickups video number 75. Of excuse me. Ooh, no, sorry, I just got a bit distracted. Somebody walked past the window. Pickups video number 75. Jesus, 75. Just dawned on me. That's a lot. Yeah. I've already shot this once, but I just don't know. I thought I'll do it like this. I shot it. I was on camera. Then I wasn't feeling it. I've had that quite a few times recently. I keep filming these pickups videos, and I want to do them, but once I've done them, just not feeling it, not feeling the end result. Don't know. I'm getting old and cynical. As you do. Anyway, so I thought I'd do it like this. I'll do it like so. So I'll essentially be repeating myself, and you know, because I'm pretty much, I'll end up saying exactly what I said. I don't know. I think I did it about an hour ago. I tried to watch it back, and I watched about the first 5 minutes. And I thought, nah, this is shit. No chance, Sonny Jim. So. I'm gonna have to sort through it. Normally, when I make a pickups video, I'll get in a little pile and I'll try and at least put it in some sort of chronological order, or some sort of order of, you know, just general order. I like order. I don't know if you noticed, but I like order. I do. Anyway, so I've got a veritable shitload of stuff. It's been about a month, so you know. But a lot of this is kind of bursts. But anyway, this first thing's lovely. I think a lot of you love this. I've been looking out for PSP for a long time, but a lot of them just get really... a lot of the second animals are all just shitted up, like the knackered screens and stuff, so, I don't know, they're like really manky. So obviously, nobody looked after, when they had one originally, nobody looked after their PSPs. I thought, if I can eventually find one, I'm going to have to look after it. And I saw this in Cash Converters. This sexy beast. It's a carry case. It is a carry case, but it looks suspiciously like a handbag, especially with this strap here. I don't think I'll be able to model it. Maybe not. It looks suspiciously like I'm. Suspiciously like I'm carrying a handbag. I mean, in my sort of everyday life, I'm a veritable Chuck Liddell as far as masculinity is concerned. So I don't normally have to, you know, this stuff comes easily to me. But even me, this is a challenge to carry off without it compromising, you know, my raw masculinity, sort of thing. But let's open her up. Open up the flap. This one's got lots of bits in it, more flaps. Yeah. This one's got an extra. Another one then. I lucked out, man. And this. More flaps. It's all about. But yeah, I doubt. I mean, I will get a PSP eventually. I've got games for it. I will get a PSP eventually. I doubt I'll be ever found carrying it around by the shoulder strap thing. And who invented that? I mean, who's the target audience for PSPs? Essentially, like teenage boys. I mean, how many teenage boys are going to be walking around with one of these? Even without the strap, you're going to look a bit, I don't know. So it's going to go a bag. It can be a bag in a bag. Anyway, get rid of that. Right, what's next? This isn't game related, as is normally the way it's said. It's my guilty pleasure about a boy. I think there's not a charity shop in the land without one of these. But this is, like I said, it's my guilty pleasure. I've wanted to get the. They show it all the time on ITV2, but it's always before the watershed and all the swearing's all dubbed out. And on a few occasions, the swearing's integral to the plot, storyline. And when they cut swearing out, it essentially gets rid of some of the storyline, which is bollocks. Swearing. So yeah, that was only £1, and most of them are knackered. I know they're everywhere, but most of them are knackered. I didn't want to pay more than £1 for it, obviously. Lad. What else have we got? What else have we got? Bear with me. I've just got to rejiggle this because it's not in chronological order. Two charity shop purchases, Marlene. Mario Party 4, and that way around. Mario Party 4, and Mario Kart Double Dash. These are not keepers. Especially, actually, either of them. Just this one's definitely not a keeper because I would like it to be a keeper, but if it had the manual and the yeah, you won't see it, but the front cover's a bit looks like it's been water damaged. But this is okay, but and the disc's all right. But these are just sort of trading stuff because they were £1. And I'm guessing it's about the 5th or 6th version of Double Dash I've had that have been traded. I've got it because I got one in a trade with Stu Ninja Bear. So I don't need it, but it's great trading stuff. I mean, I've got a game about to show you, which I was able to get primarily because I bought and traded a copy of Double Dash only last week. So that's probably about, like I said, about the 5th or 6th version of that game. So there you go. Two more charities, actually 3 more charity stuffs. Doom 3, Resurrection of Evil. This is it's not so much. Is it so much a expansion? It's more of like a continuation. I don't really know. I mean, I'm sure there are probably people out there who can tell me. But it's got versions of Doom 2, and was it not the Lost Levels of Doom, Master levels available on this thing, and that's worth having for itself. Because I mean, I struggle without playing Doom without analog sticks, and I'm hoping you can use analog sticks for the Doom versions on this, so that makes it worthwhile having just for me. But yeah, so that was about £1. Yeah, I think it was about £1. And this is £1.99. This was a charity shop. It wasn't £4.99. This was £1.99. Going back a while now, Ibbotson22 did a review of this and made it sound really good. And I've checked out some gameplay videos ever since, and it looks really good. But I think, having read quite a few reviews over the years, I think the downside of this is this pretty dodgy controls, frustrating controls, and I think that's the what's the word? Fuck it. That's the not the. Oh fuck. That's the. That's what it makes you think twice. But anyway, it makes you think twice. But the gameplay videos make it look really good. Really, really good. And it's dirt cheap generally, but I just didn't want to pay. I didn't want to pay £5 for it. I think £1.99 was about my limit. but it does look good. It does look good. And finally, from charity shops, this Zero Divide 2 from PDSA for 99p. I sort of do know about the Zero Divide games. It's just I wasn't too aware of their reputation. I mean, I thought I'd take a gamble on it. Or even that's 99p, it's not much of a gamble, is it? I thought I'd take a gamble because I wasn't too aware of their reputation. But the fact, I suppose I should have guessed the fact that you don't often hear about. I mean, you generally hear about the best games, don't you? If the game, all the good stuff rises to the top, and you don't hear too much about Zero Divide, and it's a 3D polygonal fighter, and that's normally not the necessarily sign that it's a good game. And robots, I think historically have not made great fighting games, and this is another example. It's a bit of a turkey, so hence this is not a keeper. Having tried it, it's not a keeper. I mean, for me, I do like certain. I mean, even the best 3D fighters like Tekken's. There's a delay, isn't there, to the responsiveness. They're nowhere near as responsive as 2D fighters. So you have to allow for that. And this is being a bit of a rough old fighter. This has got it in spades. I mean, you get knocked down in this game and you're down for a good sort of 3 seconds or so, and that seems like an age in a fighter. And then there's one particular character, I can't remember what character it is. It's like a big spidery robot thing. And knock him down, and he just sort of like flails around on the floor like a crab, and the opponent can just sort of like shoo him on the floor, sort of laying into him, and he's sort of like flapping about like a crab on its back. And that's just bloody irritating. But and also I don't think robots really lend themselves to fighting games. I mean, to make something appear articulated like a robot, it's by nature sort of not articulate. Robots move like robots, don't they? And if you make them move like humans, then it doesn't look like a robot. The robots are going to be stiff and inarticulate. Their limbs aren't going to be fluid, are they? But still, people persist with making robots. I mean, if you make a robot that body pops, it's like what am I talking about anyway? But no. I don't know. Anyway, I've got another robot fighting game coming up, which is slightly different, but that's for later. The game I told you I traded in a copy of Double Dash. I got Dead Space with it for £8 because I got £8 for Double Dash. Double Dash will get you £8 in Computer Exchange any day of the week, and it's been like that for years. So it's great trading fodder. I mean, you don't ever have to worry about it sort of going down or up in price. It just stays the same as long as they've got GameCube games for sale. Double Dash will always be £12. And I've wanted Dead Space for ages, but being an old game, I didn't want to pay too much for it. And it went up in price. They're still hefty. I think it still seems to hold its price. I've seen it lower than that, quite a bit lower. Probably because it's an old game, but I've wanted to play it ever since I got my 360. But like I said, most copies you see of this are battered, and I've just bided my time, and then I mean the copy of Double Dash I traded in, I think it was about, like I said, it was about £1. So essentially that cost me £1. So, and I don't really want to pay much more than that. Right, what's next? What is next? What's next? I'll do game. 3 games from game. 3 games from game. In a 2 for 10. Phantom Hourglass. And Final Fantasy 3. Well, this is obviously a no-brainer for me, as is this actually. I mean, this is a DS staple. I mean, you sort of really have to have these Zelda games if you've got a DS, don't you? And then I'm going to get a load of people saying, "Oh, I've got that. I've got a DS. I haven't got that." I've not played it either. But it's just the mark of quality. I mean, how many? I suppose it's the CDI games. How many Zelda games have there been that are proper turkeys, apart from the CDI games? Not too many. No. No. Anyway, yeah, and this also in a 2 for 10. It looks to be in great nick, but open it up and the manual's a bit knacked. It's got a really annoying crease right down the middle. It's a bit yellow, stains. Smells a bit funky as well. It's got a sort of slightly stained spine. I hate stained spines. The car looks alright. The case looks alright. The case looks good. That's why I'm slightly disappointed. It's a bit battered inside. But it's Final Fantasy 3. And the best one, this wasn't in an offer, this was just straight up. $7.99 Dragon Quest. Oh, I forget what the Chapters of the Chosen. Yeah. This is number 1, I think, isn't it? I've got all the others. It'd be interesting to see how this compares. Anybody who's played them all can, tell me how they all compare. Where this sort of comes in the quality of the series. I don't know. But I mean, it's nice to round off this collection. As far as Dragon Quest DS games go. Actually, I don't want the Dragon Quest Monsters games. Just saying, it's not really my bag. I don't really know. I can't be 100% honest what they're like, but I've got a feeling they're sort of Pokemon games. And you might have noticed by now, I'm a bit snobbish about Pokemon games. Bit of a snob. Move that around. 3 eBay purchases. You've seen this already, Mr. Driller. Still got the little rip there. What I've done that. I put that in there to squish it down. What I might do, but I've been bottling up until now because and it's going to require like a steady hand and steady hand. I've got a steady hand. That's my hand there. Bit of glue there, just like a tiny microscopic amount of glue, just on the underside, and press it down. That might do, but I've been, like I said, bottling it because I'm, if I do go anywhere near this with glue, I'm undoubtedly going to fuck it right up. So, and that's the payoff, really, isn't it? Not the payoff, the opposite of the payoff. The kicker. That's the word I was trying to remember earlier. The kicker. Do I accept it as it is, or go at it and potentially more likely make it worse? I don't know. And next, that was how much? That's £4 something, relatively cheap because it's of all the games Mr. Drillers you can get on all formats. That's the most difficult to get hold of, I think. It's relatively scarce on eBay. It doesn't pop up too often. But another eBay purchase, similar price. This was similar price to Mr. Driller. Actually, this was about £4 something. I think it came to just over £6 in total. I forget now. But I mean, obviously, you can compare this directly to Zero Divide because they're both one-on-one fighters using robots. This one is obviously a 2D fighter. I mean, it's got 3D backgrounds, but it's articulated a lot better. It's still got that sort of robot stiffness, which I don't think really lends itself to fighting games, and that's always going to be like that. You either make it so these they don't look like robots and they move like humans or whatever, but then you're essentially giving up on the idea of having fighting robots. They're just robots that move like humans or animals or whatever. So, but it looks beautiful. I mean, the animation is great. It's very detailed. I mean, the way they move is really detailed, but it's just not. It's still sort of a bit stiff and robot-like, essentially. But it's a better game. It's a better game than Zero Divide. I mean, I think Gundam fans will like this. And I don't really know anything about Gundam myself, but I think Gundam fans will like this. I think proper one-on-one fighter aficionados might find it a bit easy or basic or lacking. I don't know, but I'm just an enthusiastic amateur. But I enjoy it. I do enjoy it actually. I mean, I've got number 1 as well, and I enjoy that as well. Number 1 is all hand drawn. I mean, all 2D. Whereas that one's, like I said, that one's got a 3D background. And finally, on eBay, R-Types. This was $5.99 all in, which seems to be a decent price. I mean, that's round about what you should pay for it, I think. It hit a bit of a spike just literally in the last few months. It's weird. I've been keeping an eye on it for what seems like years now. Hit a bit of a spike. Don't really understand why that was. And it was sort of going for over 10, 15 quid, and that's not what it's worth. I mean, it's only essentially R-Type and R-Type 2. And it's as hard as R-Type and R-Type 2. It's a proper ball buster. If you've ever struggled with R-Type and R-Type 2, you're going to struggle with this. It's not bad nick. It's not bad nick, but the dude did say, the only real downside was a slightly ripply front cover, and I didn't mind that. And it is a little bit ripply. It looks like it might have been stained in the past, but it's not like really obvious. And I've had the like with Mr. Driller, I've had the sort of like the secondary disc holder bit on the other side of that to flatten it down a bit. I think that's acceptable for me, isn't it? I mean, I knew it was going to be like that. So, right. Actually, I forgot to mention, for Gundam Battle Assault, it came in this box. Look at that. It came in that box. It's refreshing to see eBay sellers who don't mind doing things properly. I mean, I didn't ask the guy to do it like this. I reckon if people are, don't mind, aren't too shy about saying what they think on eBay feedback, then people are more likely to take notice. If you're honest about packaging and stuff, people might take notice. Sellers might take notice. If you complain about getting a bin bag in feedback, and then sellers will see that you're a person, you're a person who likes a moan like me. Maybe this seller saw that I liked a bit of a moan and didn't want me kicking up a fuss. But yeah, essentially they've given me a box with a shitload of bubble wrap in it. But the downside is it didn't make the slightest bit of difference. Because it turned up broken. I mean, that wasn't the seller's fault. I don't know if I'm going to show you. Yeah, it turned up broken. The little plastic nipple, little plastic bit that sticks in there is broken off. It's actually still in there. So it broke off in transit. So regardless of the box and all the packaging, it didn't make any difference. So that's just a freak thing. So, but that's not to say that I don't think it's worth packaging things like that. I mean, I would always package things like that. But it's not foolproof. So there you go. Finally, this is all cash generator, cash convert stuff. Modern Warfare 3, $3.99. This is relative. It's actually yeah, it's in my 360 now. It's alright actually. I've played. When I talk about this game, I'm only ever talking about the campaign single player. So I'm not yet. This is yet. I do say yet. I'm not. Pardon me. Excuse me. Not yet a multiplayer player. Multiplayer player. Person who plays multiplayer. So when I talk about these games, I'm only ever talking about the campaign. So I've played through number 1 and number 2. Much preferred number 2, primarily because it felt harder. Just felt like it was like you stick your head up and you get sort of battered from all over the place, and then you die, and then you have to sort of learn the game. Whereas number 1, it felt like it was going easy on me. But I'm hoping this is more like number 2 than number 3. But judging by the fact that Pete's in his testing has often said how he hates number 2 but loves number 1 and loved this, that's maybe not going in my favour. I hope Pete doesn't know what he's talking about, but Pete generally does know what he's talking about. So only time will tell. Because like I said, I much prefer number 2 to number 1. Batman Begins. I think this is recommended by the Nooch. The Nooch. I think the Nooch. Yeah, the Nooch. Yeah, and it's been on my list. This was on my list, and it's about £1 worth of game. I think. I think it's one of those games which is good, but short and a bit easy, and good short easy games are never worth they're never worth retail price, are they? Their launch price. It's ridiculous. And penultimately, Capcom Arcade. What was it? Was it Capcom Digital Collection? Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix, and Final Fight Double Impact, Bionic Commando Rearmed 2, 1942 Joint Strike, Wolf of the Battlefield Commando 3, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix. I mean, this is a decent compilation. I mean, you don't often see it around. I'd had my eye on it. I'd seen it a few times. It was overpriced. And me not being hooked up, I don't have an online account so far. I mean, that's the only way I'm ever going to play those games. So it was I'm chuffed to have that. That was $3.99. Finally, this is the weirdest one. This is very odd, strange, just strange. Don't know where this came from. Again, this was Edmonton cash converters. If anybody knows North London, knows Edmonton, I'd go and have. Actually, no, I'm not going to encourage you. Don't. I'm not going to say no. Fuck it. No, it's Edmonton. Cash converters in Edmonton. Edmonton's a bit rough, so don't go down there. Don't ever go down there. You'll get stabbed and shot. Xenosaga 2 sealed. No, where did this come from? No idea. Sealed. $1.99. Sealed. The thing is, I've got this game, and my copy is all but perfect. Might even be in better nick than this, bizarrely, even though this is sealed. But so what do I do with this? I like the idea of the sort of the time capsule. It represents a time capsule, doesn't it? Because it's sealed. You know, time stands still inside the seal, doesn't it? But I'm talking bollocks. Getting bored of the sound of my own voice. But I don't really know what I'm going to do there. I might just keep it and stare at it, because I like to have a certain amount of games to keep and stare at. You know. I don't like all of my games to fulfil their destiny, whether they like it or not. You know, I like having power over them. So yeah, and like I said, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. But I couldn't leave it there. It's the weird thing. I couldn't leave it there, because when am I ever going to see something like that again? And it was only $1.99. So yeah, that's it. Before half an hour. Maybe this one's more. This video will be more acceptable than the one I deleted, because I deleted. I watched 5 minutes and deleted it straight away. So there you go. Yeah, thanks for watching. There'll be more videos. I won't promise what's coming up, because I never fulfil my promises, and I don't think people really bothered by what I promise anyway, are they? So anyway, see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye. That's a wave. Bye.